Hi everyone, welcome to this week's reading, the Ocean Oracle for the week beginning April 2nd, 2018. I'm gonna go with September there for a minute, but it's a really fast year. Anyway, shuffling the deck, setting the intention for what we may need to hear for this week. And this card kind of slipped or fell into my hand, and it is 30 Rock Pool Reflection. It's beautiful. Many of these cards, the photos are from Block Island, Rhode Island in the States, but this one is actually from New South Wales, down near Nelson Bay. So it's one of the few ones in the revisions that made it in from Australia, but I love it. It's only recently been changed when I had the deck made into a proper tarot-sized deck. So this is the first deck that actually has this particular photo for Rock Pool. Anyway, and I love it. I love the colors in it. Anyway, so the story. What do you see? She asked as she came upon him, sitting on the rock ledge, his gaze fixed into the translucent water of a rock pool. He answered eternity, the here and now, all that ever was, all that ever will be, the vastness of the reflection, reflecting nothing but perceived light. I see myself as sinner and saint, priest and bastard, father and child. 100 different perceptions relating to ego. I also see my essence and light and depth and truth. 100 different perceptions relating to the I am, all of it and none of it. I see fear and ripples and turbulence, as well as peace and love and stillness. I see reflected many faces of me, both past and present. What I see depends on how I am seeing. My head sees tangible images, my heart the intangibles. All of it right and none of it wrong. The message is, what do you need to see? Are you uncomfortable with what is being reflected back to you? Are you at peace with your reflection? Persons or situations may be at hand to help guide you in a reflective process. Know that what is being reflected back is an essence of you. Reflection can show both light and shadows. Embrace the reflection wholeheartedly, as in essence, the embrace is of your true self. This is a really powerful one and really quite deep because it looks at embracing ourselves as a whole, the good, the bad, the ugly, the light aspects, and as well as the shadow aspects. And it also, it shows that we can be so many things at the same time, you know? It's often not one or the other. Often it can be both, neither, part one, part something else. And especially now, things aren't necessarily so clear. Like, in one regard, they are clearer than they've ever been. Like, the reflection is crystal clear. But in other ways, the clarity, I want to say, is refracted because of everything that comes in, and we're able to touch into so much more, like tap into so much more. We have so much more at our disposal, especially with the internet and the way that connects us. And so this aspect of reflection can encompass so many things. It's not quite so simple as just kind of gazing and seeing what comes back, because what we're seeing is coming from so many different directions. I don't know, hope that makes sense. Every time, like with these cards, every time I read them, something else comes up, and so I don't ever have anything planned of what I'm gonna kind of interpret for these. Story and messages are the same, but depending on what comes in, I kind of flow with that. So that's why it can be a little, like, if it's a little confusing for you, just think how it is. Never quite sure what's gonna come out. So I do hope that that makes sense, and it's it's a lovely thing to take into the week, to just be present with what's actually coming at you. And I wish you a good week. Happy April. I'm recording this on April Fool's Day, no joking, and Easter. Yes, and if you want to know more about the cards or me or purchase a deck, they're available at www.theoceanoracle.com. Thanks. See you next time.